This is one of your must-knows for A-level biology, and this is the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. So we can see in our diagrams here, we've got an example of a eukaryotic cell and an example of a prokaryotic cell. So let's go through some of the different features and see what the differences are. So the first key difference is the nucleus, and we can see in eukaryotes they do have a true nucleus which is enclosed in a nuclear envelope. Whereas in prokaryotic cells, they do not have a true nucleus. Their DNA and their genetic information is just floating around in the inside of the cell. Next up is the organelles. So in eukaryotes, we have membrane-bound organelles, things like the mitochondria or the endoplasmic reticulum. And then in prokaryotes, they don't have any membrane-bound organelles. And also the ribosomes, which we find in prokaryotes, are a bit smaller than in eukaryotes. They're 70S instead of 80S. Next up we have the DNA. So the DNA in eukaryotes is linear and it is associated with histone proteins, whereas the DNA in prokaryotes is circular and it's not associated with any histone proteins. Next is the size. So eukaryotes are typically bigger, normally around 5 to 100 micrometers. Prokaryotes are much smaller, they average about 0.2 to 2 micrometers. In terms of division, eukaryotes divide by either mitosis or meiosis, whereas prokaryotes divide by binary fission, which is much simpler. And then finally we have some examples. So eukaryotic cells can be things like plant cells, animal cells, fungi, or protists. And prokaryotic cells will be things like bacteria or archaea. Okay, so to summarize, eukaryotic cells are normally bigger, more complex. They have membrane-bound organelles, a membrane-bound nucleus. These organelles allow these cells to become specialized, so they can contribute towards multicellular organisms, and just in general, they're more complex and larger. Prokaryotic cells tend to be smaller, simpler, no membrane-bound organelles, no membrane-bound nucleus. The DNA is floating around inside the cytoplasm, and they divide by binary fission in opposed to mitosis, meiosis. One easy way to remember them is that U is like true, so they have a true nucleus in a eukaryote, and pro is like no, so a prokaryote has no nucleus. And those are the main differences. If you like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a like, and if you'd like more content like this, then please do follow the channel as well.